What up, guys? It's Chris. Today we're in a library and we're building a rack for a Resolume server to be used this summer on gigs. Started building this rack yesterday, and I kind of just wanted to vlog the process of how it was going right now, kind of where we're at, and everything between now and the finished product. So here's a little closer up view of the rack. You can see it's a shock mounted rack. We have a Furman at the top right now, and we have a UPS at the bottom. We have our GUI off to the side here, and a little mouse and keyboard. And we have our output is this larger monitor that's attached to the wall and not going anywhere. Looking at the back side of the rack here, you can see an empty space at the top. You can see a little plugging strip underneath that, and then you can see a little patch panel with some USBs, an HDMI, and then a NIC all the way at the end there. And this is going to be the actual computer running Resolume, where we're going to kind of build it in a way where it's stable to fit in the base, and it's not going to tip over, and it can ride around and be safe. This shelf on top is actually what's going to go in that empty space. So right here, this is just a brick that's kind of powering our Blackmagic devices. You can see each of them are getting USB, and we have these HDMI to display ports here. Those are going to go from the GPU to the Blackmagic so that we can output SDI and come all the way over to the decimator, which is doing the TV stuff. So now that we have everything tested on our rack shelf here, we're going to go ahead and unplug everything and kind of clean it up, do a little cable management, and get this rack shelf installed. And here we are with the finished project. If we take a look inside the rack really quick, we can just kind of see how I've cleaned up most of the cabling. Excuse this little bulge right here. But we can see most of the cabling is kind of looping around here, following that rail, tree trunking down, and then plugging into the computer accordingly. And then if we take a look at the back really quick, you can see how kind of nicely rack mounted everything is. Our 4 Blackmagic SDI to HDMIs, and you can see the power brick back there. So here we are a few days later. We can see we've added some shelves, some drawers, and some just 1U kind of gradients there. And in the back we can see everything's kind of going how it needs to be. We have our blue network cable plugged into the Ion. We have our mounts down there at the bottom holding the computer in. We're just going to put maybe a 1 or 2U across the back once we're done, and some foam to kind of keep it that way. You can see up top we have our plugging strips with all of our plugs plugged into them, and again up tippity top we have the rack mounted Blackmagics there. Right now we're just plugged into a little SDI monitor to test. So the idea is that the computer monitor is a touchscreen, and then we have some faders down here on our ETC to control the layers. You can see the layers kind of going on there, and we have our output. So this is what the whole system will end up looking like. We're going to end up programming some lights and a few other things to kind of add into our all-in-one inclusive kind of party kit here. But it's pretty simple. We just have the ETC EOS outputting a few dimmer channels of ArtNet, so that again we can control the layers of Resolume this way.